everyone. We are live here on Diecast Emporium. I know it's a bit of an odd time to go live, being it's like 11 o'clock on Tuesday morning. However, had a bit of time here. I figured I would go live for those of you that have been asking me on the various social media platforms to do another live session, So I'm doing another live session while I have the time now. I figured we would be reviewing the Conrad Elgin Pelican Street Sweeper. This is something I've had in my collection for several years now, and for whatever reason, I don't believe I've ever filmed a review of it. So instead of filming a review and then uploading it, I figured, what the heck? I would do the live session that those of you that wanted me to do it would do it, and we'll review it together. So how's that sound? For those of you that have never joined me for a live session, the way that it works, I have very reasonable expectations, and that is just keep it model related, keep it clean and family friendly. As we go throughout the video, you can use the chat section down at the bottom of the screen, send me comments, send me questions, and throughout the video, I will do my very best to answer all of your comments and questions. All right, let's get on with it. So this is the Elgin Pelican Street Sweeper in 1:50 scale, made by Conrad a number of years ago. The box is about as plain as it can get, just says Elgin on it in brown. The box itself is white. Unfortunately, the back of the box is, well, seen better days because I bought this secondhand. Let's go ahead and get this thing unboxed and take a look at it. Pull it out. There we go. I don't even remember where I got this from. I think I got it from another collector. I don't know. Maybe I bought it on the internet. I don't remember, honestly. I really don't. Once you have the amount of stuff that I do, it's just things end up blurring together. Looks like we have 3 or 4 people in the room now, so welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down in the comment section. So here is the model. Pretty nice looking sweeper. I like it a lot. The main motivation or reasoning that I bought this street sweeper is to have it behind my coal planers during, road resurfacing displays, that kind of thing. The only other thing in the box is this piece of paper, which I'm not even sure what this piece of paper is. Hold on, we'll find out together. This might be a sales receipt. I don't know why I would have kept that, but we'll see what this is. No, it's not a sales receipt. Big reveal. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, check this out. Okay. So this looks like it came with the models. It's an Elgin Pelican maintenance chart. Wash down machine after every sweeping shift. Okay, that's cool. So here's your daily service checklist. Service after every shift or 10 hours. That's cool. I like that a lot. Periodic service checklist. Daily service checklist. That's neat. I don't believe I've seen this with any other model before. I mean, obviously, I've seen documentation, whether it's COAs or other, sales brochure information, but nothing like this. This is cool. Nothing on the back. Wow, that's neat. I like that. Okay. Well, I'll have to take a closer look at that later. I won't take up the whole video by reading the paperwork. Okay, back to the model. So here it is. Typical Conrad quality, pretty heavy. Underneath it says model 5066 scale 1:50 Conrad, made in West Germany. Working rear steer. The brush itself is literally a fabric brush, and you can spin it. Can you guys see that okay? Is that coming across on camera? That's not blurry because it looks like it's blurry on my end. So one of the things I hate about these live sessions is I don't know what the quality is until after it publishes and goes live. So if the quality's not best, that's kind of what you get in a trade-off of a live stream. So there's your main red sweeping brush, and then it has 2 additional black brushes that I'm assuming probably slide out here, because they do on the real machine. Maybe. Yeah, they slide out. Cool. And slide down. See that? Slide in and slide out. All right, that's awesome. So also, those of you that are watching, by the way, if you guys have any questions not related to this model, but related to our hobby, please feel free to get those in, because when I am done, I will be happy to answer any of your questions. Many of you have asked for a Q&A session. I know it's the middle of a Tuesday morning, not the Not exactly the ideal time to do one of these live streams for most of us. Many of us are at work or school, but this is the time I had today. So going back to this, boy, I feel like I'm going to break something. Oh my God. So this goes up and out. That's cool. So there's your front to empty it out once you're done at the end of the shift. There's two steering wheels, both the right-hand side and left-hand side for two drivers, depending on what side of the road they're on. Yeah, this is cool. I like this a lot. Fold that back up. I already mentioned before that the wheels steer. The brushes move. Obviously, you can empty it. There's your orange beacon light. Looks like we got our first comment. Hello there. Hello. Thanks for joining us for the live stream. Thanks for the comment. Here's the back engine cover. Elgin, your air cleaner. Here's your mirrors, which of course they're just mirror stocks. There's no silver reflective surfaces on them for as old as this model is. I don't know. I kind of like this thing. It's definitely old and dated, but it really holds up well. And again, for those of you that are into road construction equipment, these are still very relevant today. You still see these out working every day behind cold planers or on road construction jobs, or really not even in necessarily the construction sector. You see these with municipalities and cities all over the world keeping the streets clean. So a wonderful model. I don't remember seeing too many of these recently, but I'm sure maybe if a quick eBay search or something, I don't know what they're going for, how easy these are to find today, but they're super, super cool. Very happy I have one in my collection. So that's the Conrad Elgin Pelican Street Sweeper, 1/50th scale. Nice little accessory. Great model. Okay, guys, let's do some questions. Otherwise, we're going to end this because the whole idea of a Q&A session and doing this live is to get some questions and answers in. And if we're not going to get any questions, we are going to end the video. So again, I knew kind of doing this at 11 o'clock in the morning was not going to be ideal, but I know that there are different time zones and a lot of people are working from home. I know I am working from home. Mm-hmm. So go ahead and get your comments and questions in now. If there's a model request you guys want to see within reason, perhaps I can get some models out. So let your questions or comments come on in. We'll give it here a couple more minutes, and then we'll make a decision here what we're going to do. Do you have pneumatic tire rollers in your collection? I do, as a matter of fact. I have a Hom roller, and I have a cat roller. So I'll tell you what, I'll get the cat roller out, because that's right next to me. So give me a minute. Good question. So here is, believe it or not, this actually ties in quite well with this video because this is another Conrad model. Very dated, very old, but to date, the most recent Caterpillar 1/50th scale pneumatic tire roller, the Cat PS 500. I do have a review of this on my channel if you are interested in seeing a conclusive and in-depth review of this. Just search it under my channel. But I love this thing. Definitely dated by today's standards, but holds up well, looks great. Here it is. So they made several different versions of this in terms of the different trade dress and colors, but also they did like staggered steps. My version has the steps that go vertical, but they also made steps that go like here, here, and then back here. They call that the staggered step version. So that one's a little bit more sought after than this one. But I personally like this design a lot better. Here you have the weight in the back, the simulated weight for ballast. Your front wheels turn too. See that? So I love this model. So that's the Cat PS 500 pneumatic tire roller, 1/50th scale. Also have one of these in 1/87 scale, much newer roller, but that one is 3D printed. You can find that on Shapeways. Okay, what else do you guys want to see? Looks like we had another. Okay, here's another one. David Warburton, he's joined the chat, so welcome. He asked, do I have any Lego Technic? I do. Thank you for joining the conversation. I am currently with a gentleman I work with. I'm currently building the Lego Caterpillar D11 Lego Technic set and genuinely enjoying the build process. So I am filming a video on it when it's finished. So I will showcase that video on this channel. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And once that Lego Technic set is done, I will be showcasing it. Additionally, I may buy the Dodge Charger from Fast and Furious, which is a Lego Technic set. Haven't really decided yet. But if I pick that up, I may film a video of that as well, just because I'm a big Dodge Charger and Fast and Furious fan. So thank you for the question. Thank you for watching. Let's get some more questions in here. Looks like we've got 11 people in the room, which is awesome for me. Thank you guys for joining me on a Tuesday morning. Now there's 12 people in here. I guess while I'm waiting for some questions, I can probably dig out that ham pneumatic tire roller. I don't think that's too hard to get to. See if I can find that. Okay, so this one is by NZG. This is a much more current, much nicer model. This is the Ham GRW 280 pneumatic tire roller. Again, also have a video of this on the channel if you want to see this one. I believe this version is the cab version. I wanted the ROPS version of this, but could not get my hands on it at the time because ROPS is more accurate to what you see here in the States. But that being said, this is still a stellar model. Has a beacon light on the top, which can get dislodged just like that. So every time you take it out of the box, you kind of have to finagle it and make sure you put it back on right, because the packaging in the styrofoam dislodges the light every single time. So you just kind of put it back in. Just like that. So I'll mess with it after the video. But that's the Ham pneumatic tire roller, or Ham pneumatic tire roller. Okay, looks like we have some more questions. So let's go ahead and get back to the questions. Jonathan. Hello, Jonathan. Thanks for joining my video. Hey, Tommy, how are you doing? I'm doing well, Jonathan. How are you? Thanks for asking. Any idea when Diecast Masters will release their lineup for Transport Series? I know that it is soon. I know that they are working on some licensees that are, they're working on some additional licensees, Jonathan. So that's kind of what the holdup is. There's one in particular that I can't get into that I think will be a welcome addition to everybody's collection, and they're kind of sort of waiting to hear back. So I think that that's the main thing that they are waiting for to release the catalog. So I think most of the 2022 things that are coming for the Transport Series line have really been announced. So if they do have more announcements for 2022, you probably won't actually see the models till 2023 anyway. But that being said, there's some great stuff that is coming. Okay, David Warburton, I am over 11 technical stuff. I'm assuming you meant you have over 11 technical stuff, so that's cool. I like I said, I am not a Lego person, and the D11 is the first really Lego Technic set I've ever done, and I am enjoying it a lot. Next question, do you have 1/16 scale machines? I do. I don't have a lot of them, but I do have some of them. I don't normally collect larger scale pieces of equipment or trucks because they just take up too much space, but I do have a handful. You can search on my channel, Diecast Emporium 1/16 scale, and see what comes up. Ruthless, do I have a Cat D9H? I do. I have a CCM Cat D9H. I love that model. Again, you can look that up on my channel. The CCM stuff is upstairs in a glass curio cabinet. I am in the basement, which is where I do all my model reviews. So, again, if you want to see the D9H, just look it up on my channel. Thank you for showing this model. Not a problem. Thank you for asking. Let's see if we can get some more questions in here. Next question, David asked, do you have any JCB backhoe? I do, but it's not 1/50th scale, but let me grab it. Okay, so this is technically a backhoe. It's 1/87 scale. This is the JCB Motor Art military backhoe. I have this in tan and then in olive drab. This thing is actually pretty cool, so I'll just take it out and show it to you. They developed this for the British military, and we have adopted it here in the U.S., as well as several other NATO companies. It's like the Joint Tactical Engineering Vehicle, something like that. I should know this. I'm embarrassed that I don't know it off the top of my head. This is definitely something I should absolutely know based on what I used to do for 9.5 years. However, I don't know. But here it is. The outriggers work, which is really quite cool. The backhoe mechanism folds out and works, and the front comes up, which I like. And again, this is the sand version or desert tan version, whatever you want to call it. But quite a nice piece. And the bucket comes off, just like you saw it right there. Magic of live videos. There you go. So, thanks for the question. All right. Do you have any Keybreed model kits or kits? I do. Actually, I had a viewer send me this one that is still sitting over here that I have not had a chance to do. And I really want to thank him because to date, this is like the only viewer fan mail I've ever gotten from anyone. And I just thought that was super cool that somebody cared enough to send something to me. And yet, here I am, and I still haven't done it like 2 months later. But this is a Keybreed kit. This thing is awesome. I do plan on doing this. It's just life, work, holidays, everything gets, in the middle. When I get time for models, I have, model reviews for clients that I have to do. So eventually I will get my ass in gear and I will build this because I'm just humbled that somebody cared enough to send something to me as a gift. So that's one Keybreed kit. The other Keybreed kit that I have that I built like 3 years ago, maybe it was longer than that, I don't know, I'm getting old, was a Virkin coplaner Keybreed kit. I love that thing. That's pretty cool. You can see a review of that on my channel as well. Just look it up. Ruthless asks, do I have a steam shovel? Do I have a steam shovel? Don't think so. I think I have a cable shovel, but that's not a steam shovel. That's a cable shovel. So no, I don't. Next question or suggestion that you guys want to see. And to that gentleman that asked me about the D9H, I apologize. I'm just being lazy, and I don't want to sit here and have you guys wait in a boring blank screen while I do, 2 other flights of stairs. There's pictures and a video of it on YouTube and on Instagram. Again, most of you guys are familiar with it. It's the CCM D9H. Great model. It is one of CCM's holy grails. I was able to get it last year, and I'm very honored to have one in my collection because they are extremely sought-after pieces that are very, very expensive. Okay, let's get some more questions or suggestions or comments in here. We'll go for a little while longer. Thank you all again very much for joining the conversation and the live stream. Do I have any 143 scale models? No, I don't, because I primarily specialize in 150 scale and 187 scale. So 143 just wasn't really appealing to me because it wouldn't fit with anything. When you put 143 with 150 scale, the scale difference is so off and so unbearable for me that I just never got into it. When you're talking about 148th to 150 scale, it's honestly, some models you can't tell. Most models you can't tell. But if you have like a 375 from Joel and a 375 from CCM and you put them right next to each other, maybe that's even a bad example because a Joel model is not necessarily the highest quality. But even if you have a model of the exact machine in 150th and a model of the exact machine in 148th, it's enough of a difference to a collector to be a little bit off. But most of the time, there's not enough of a difference between 148th and 150th to make that big of a difference. Okay, David, how are you, D, and how did you tell your day diorama? Do me a favor and reword that question, man. I'm not sure what you mean by that. And while you're doing that, let's get some more people in asking their questions. We got 14 people in the room, which, again, is amazing. Thank you all. Looks like many people are going on their lunch hour, so hopefully we can get more people in here. Tell us all where you're watching from, too. I'd love to know where some of you guys are watching this live stream from in the world. Obviously, if you guys don't know, I am originally from Buffalo, New York. I am currently living and working in Cincinnati, Ohio, and it is like 40 degrees in Cincinnati, which for Cincinnatians is Arctic cold. We got like 4 inches of snow earlier last week, and the entire city shut down. It was absolutely hilarious. Again, it makes it more funny when you come from the north and you went to school in 2 feet of snow, and then you move to a city when they shut down for 4 inches of snow. I don't mean to get sidetracked too much. It just is hilarious. It absolutely is hysterical. Okay, so we got one gentleman watching from Russia. Hello. Thank you for watching from over there. We got another one from Canada. All right, Daniel asks, good morning. Where can I get a Pete with a Lowboy 150 scale? He's watching from Salt Lake City, Utah. Excellent. We got another one from Northern Ireland. Awesome. That's where most of my family is from, my ancestors. Okay, so going back to Daniel's question. So here's what I would recommend. I don't think currently from Diecast Masters you can get a Peterbilt with a Lowboy set together, but they sell the Lowboy trailer separately, so you can buy the Lowboy trailer by itself and then go through their inventory or their product line of the Peterbilt tractors, because they have a 579. They have a couple other Pete tractors. Figure out which one you like, and you can buy the cab and the trailer separately, depending on which color you want, which Peterbilt one you want, and you can determine which one you want from there. That would be my recommendation. Jonathan asks, Lebanon, Virginia. Where in Virginia is Lebanon, Virginia? Like, is that near Richmond, Virginia? Martinsville, Virginia? Like, give me somewhat of an idea. I'm just naturally curious. Daniel says, thank you for answering my question. I hope I helped. I wasn't really a direct answer to your question. I mean, I wish I could say, yes, there's this product that's a Peterbilt with a Lowboy, but there just isn't one that immediately comes to mind that exists. So my suggestion is get the trailer by itself. And there's 2 options for the trailer. You can get a standard Lowboy, or you can get the Lowboy with the outriggers extended if you want a Lowboy for like a dozer or an excavator with the wide planks out for a tracked machine. So they even have that option for more realistic poses. So again, I have a review of that on my channel if you want to look that up. But that would be my recommendation. Okay, a few more questions or suggestions of things that you guys want to see. I have all the Diecast Masters stuff down here. I've got some Norscot stuff down here, NZG, First Gear. The CCM stuff is upstairs. Jonathan says, I'm about 25 minutes away from Bristol Motor Speedway. Well, son of a gun. I go to Bristol at least once a year, so we might have to meet up or something. Small world. I do intend, hoping for good health, and if work will let me, to attend the dirt race again this year. I went to the dirt race last year. So that is my intention. My hotel is booked. I have my tickets, but you never know with work and life. What about first gear stuff? I have some first gear stuff here. So if you want to see some 150th scale first gear trucks or some Komatsu stuff, let me know. I have some of it. I don't have all of it. David says, show me a diorama. I don't have any dioramas assembled, but I mean, I can make a small tabletop diorama with like two or three vehicles. But in terms of like dirt or buildings, I don't have the space down here to set anything up. I wish I did. I'm hoping to change that at some point when perhaps I get a bigger house. But that's going to be years away. Okay, next question. I'm just curious, but where would I be able to find 150 scale logging equipment? My first answer is always eBay. If I'm looking for anything in particular, whether it's current or something that's been out for a number of years, my go-to place is eBay. You can see what things are selling for currently, how much they sold for recently, price-wise, when you click on the sold for listings, because that's just generally your best one-stop shop where you're going to see the greatest listing of things. And you can always type in the eBay search bar logging 150th scale, and it'll come up with skidders, feller bunchers, loading, what are they called? Log loaders. To my knowledge, there's not one specific website that sells just diecast logging equipment, which somebody definitely should, because there's a huge niche market for that. But my suggestion would be eBay. Ertl makes a lot of John Deere logging equipment. Tonkin Replicas used to make a handful of cat logging equipment, which now Diecast Masters makes 3 or 4 of them. You have the first gear Komatsu D71 dozer. I did have it. I do not currently have it. I traded it for something else, but yes, it is a great model. I kind of regret that I traded it. But yeah, it's a good one. Do I have any tractors? I do. I have a Case construction tractor that I used to pull a pull pan scraper. Pretty solid model. So honestly, I don't know where it is at the moment. But yes, I have that. And maybe a handful of 187 scale tractors somewhere. I'm assuming you meant tractors as in farming tractors and not tractors as in tractor trailer semis. Because if you meant tractors as in tractor trailer semis, I probably have 500,000. That's a little bit of an overshot, but you get the idea. Okay, so here's the pneumatic rollers, just to have something again in screen. We'll take a couple more questions and suggestions, and probably end the live stream. I really enjoy doing these, and I hope you guys do. I hope you take away and learn something from them. I hope I provide somewhat of helpful advice or insight, perhaps make you laugh. I don't know, but that's my intent for doing these. I know I get a lot out of them from talking with you guys. One of these days, one of these years, when maybe the world goes back to normal, I would like to do like a show, because everybody seems to be doing open houses and shows. I would love to do that, but I would have to rent out a place, because my place is not conducive to have an open house with hundreds if not thousands of people. But that's something that I would love to see come to fruition. Okay, new comment. Do you think manufacturers would put more emphasis on 1/64th construction equipment versus 1/50th? I think they should, but I don't think they will. And the reason I say that is because old habits die hard, and 1/50th scale has always been the scale for construction equipment. It's just fact. What I think should be done is 1/64th scale is kind of the scale that everybody starts out with when they're young. And in order to get new blood into this hobby, you have to have a 1/64th scale product line. And that's kind of what, to their credit, Diecast Masters has realized and they've started to do with adding one or two pieces to their quote unquote play and collect 164 scale line. Their ultimate goal for that is to get those play and collect vehicles into stores, into your literal Walmart aisles or your Target aisles, to get the Diecast Masters brand a household name so people know what it is. And if we can start people in 164 scale cat equipment, and then as they get older and as their means grow so that they can afford the more expensive stuff, that's only better news for the hobby as a whole. So that's been my thought process with them. I know they're very much in the same realm of that. But 150 scale is what the OEMs want. That's what it's always been. And the bottom line is you in order to keep licenses and keep everybody happy, the bottom line is you have to do what these licensed people want. So I hope that answers your question. Maybe gives you a little bit more insight. Okay, what do you think about 1/125th scale? Not a fan. I'm just not. I just don't like it. I think all the 121 to 125th scale should have been 187 scale stuff. I think they would have sold a heck of a whole lot more of it. The concept, the general idea behind the 1/125th scale stuff on paper was, I kind of got it. I kind of see where they were coming from. It maybe could have sort of maybe worked. But the bottom line is you got to sell and it's got to do well. And the collector community, they got to buy into it. And I knew it wasn't going to work. So what should happen and what's actually going to happen are two totally different things. So what should happen is the idea should be nixed and new editions should not continue to be put in 1/125th scale. But I don't see that happening. Okay, the first gear, Komatsu 164 scale is super, so it's doable. I agree. Komatsu has a couple 164 scale editions recently. They have an excavator and a large dozer within the past 5 years. Both of them have metal tracks. They're highly functional. I own both of them in my collection. I've done reviews on them. They're great models. But again, 164 scale is primarily for trucks and farming equipment. So construction, again, has always been 150 scale. Okay. Zelda says, what's up? He's joined the chat. So thank you for joining. Make sure you get some questions in. Another question. Didn't consider OEM was a big factor, assuming you mean promotional for primary equipment manufacturer. Yeah, OEM is a tremendous factor. We'll use Caterpillar as an example because they are the ones that I can speak directly about. Anytime a new model gets made, I'm talking about a scale model, it goes through a pretty lengthy approval process from Caterpillar themselves. The model manufacturers, let's say it's CCM or Diecast Masters, they have to send a sample to somebody at Caterpillar, and Caterpillar says, okay, we want this done to it. This is okay. This isn't okay. And they make changes based on what Cat wants. So you can't just make whatever the hell you want. You know, Caterpillar has to say, yes, no, this is the scale we want. And the idea is it is to help sell the real machine. That is the whole idea behind these adult collectible scale models. And a lot of times these companies will use these to help sell the real machine at trade shows and the like. And I have heard of several occasions where contractors or construction companies that buy the real machines as a kind of incentive's not really the right word, because when you're buying a multi-million-dollar piece of equipment, who cares about $100 or $200 piece of diecast? But as an added incentive, in the past, a lot of these OEMs have said, here's a replica of your machine in diecast that you're buying. That's not too uncommon. That actually still happens. So I can definitely speak for Caterpillar in that there is a approval process that goes on, which you have to respect, and it kind of is the way that it is. Take it or leave it. So that's why you can't just make whatever you want. You have to get approval from the top. And I kind of, personally, I believe that's a good thing. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Let's see if I missed any questions. Somebody wants to see a bulldozer, so while we are waiting for some more questions or thoughts, let me break out a bulldozer real quick. I'll see what I have on hand. All right, how about a treat for you guys that have stuck by and watched this thing? I'm going to bring out one of the best in any scale bulldozer models that money can buy and you can get. Just for you, that everybody's watching. How about the CCM 187 scale Cat D11R? There you go. I feel like I'm taking my life into my hands every time I take this out of the display case, honestly. Because some days I feel like this model is actually worth more than my life. All right. Let's get some more questions and suggestions in. And then we'll wrap this up here in maybe another 10 minutes or so. Want to make sure that everybody has a chance to get their comments or suggestions out and questions. Here's the other one too. So we have the standard D11R, and then we've got the carry dozer version. Boom. How about that? There you go. All right. All right. Lewis. Diecast Masters makes garbage trucks with functionality. I don't know when or if Diecast Masters will make garbage trucks. I know that that's something that's on their radar. I don't know how soon that is. Everything is all license-based. I know, obviously, that's something I'd like to see because I don't have a tremendous amount of garbage trucks in my collection. I certainly don't have any really big garbage truck models. But I don't know. They have a lot of things already in the works. So, again, I don't know how soon or even if that's a realistic possibility anytime in the near future. All right, next comment. Yeah, they are brilliant. Absolutely. Again, I don't even like touching these. So the 187 scale CCM stuff is down here. The 148 scale CCM stuff is upstairs. For those that may be wondering why I was able to get these so quickly. Okay, any more comments or questions? Anything you guys want to know? My thoughts on things that might be coming up? Anything that's out already? You guys have things on your wish list that you want to get, perhaps, that you are waiting for? In the 70s, my dad took me to car dealerships to purchase the plastic promotional cars they sold, even though plastic was the detail was terrific and the mold process was quality. Wish I had those still. Oh, man, dude, I wish you had those still, too. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I have actually seen several of those. I wasn't born until basically 1990, but I have seen collectors that have those, and they are fantastic toolings and castings, and they actually go for quite a lot of money. But personally, me being me, I wouldn't sell them. They'd be in my collection. Hello, Bill. Thanks for joining the chat. You've joined us just in time. It would be great if someone made what they call a one-arm bandit trash truck. Is that the side arm where it grabs the can from the side and tilts it over the side? Is that what you mean by those? I literally know nothing about trash trucks, but I'm assuming that's what you mean. Because a front loader obviously has the forks. It goes over the top. An end dump is obviously the one that you throw in the trash from the back. So I'm assuming the one arm is the one that grabs it from like the left side and tilts it over behind the cab. But that's an assumption. I don't know. Okay, comments, questions. Bill has confirmed that yes, it is. So, wow, I actually got that right. Next question. What do you think about CCM's Cat 988B wheel loader? That's a good question. I think that it's not the best model that CCM has ever done. There are some pretty noticeable inaccuracies, most notably with the tires, the wheels, and the cab design is not completely accurate. But there are some people out there that are making some correct wheels and tires for it. So if that bothers you that much, you can buy those and rectify it. But overall, I don't think it's the worst that's ever been done. So I don't necessarily have a tremendous issue with it, but I can certainly understand why some collectors do have a problem with it. Tommy, read chat out loud. Will Diecast Masters garbage trucks sometime soon? I answered that for you a little bit earlier. I don't know. I honestly have no idea what their plan is for garbage trucks. David asks, what is your purse model? What is my purse model? I don't know what that means. Was that supposed to be what is my first model? Let me know what you meant by that. Unfortunately I don't carry around a purse. I don't do that kind of thing. Not hating on any man that carries around a purse, but I don't carry around purses. I don't do that kind of thing. I'm not cool enough to pull that off, unfortunately. So, yeah. But going back to while David fixes his question, going back to the 988Bs, I know that they were, and believe me, I want to make this clear. I'm not making any excuses for anybody, but I do know that the 988Bs were kind of were rushed, and there was a certain criteria that had to be met by a certain time. So sometimes things can get overlooked, but when you are paying for a product at a certain price point, you do expect certain things to be accurate, especially because CCM has set such a name for themselves with these, for example, and they have such a legacy for being just excellent models that you do expect the wheels, obviously, to be correct, for example. But things happen. Okay. We'll give it a couple more minutes here. Get your questions or comments in, and then we'll end this live session. Great question. Will you be reviewing the Matchbox Reel working rigs of 2022? Actually, I will be. I just today, actually, I texted my good friends at JCar Diecast. They have the most recent case, the newest case for 2022. So I am waiting for them to send that off to me. And as soon as I get it, you can bet money that I will be doing an unboxing and review the day that I receive it, because there is, Lewis, are you still listening? There is a garbage truck in there, as well as a rear mount fire truck, and the attenuator truck. So there's some good stuff for the first case of 2022. So as soon as it gets here, I will be definitely doing a video on it. Lewis, I don't have any buses. I don't even think I have any HO scale buses. Otherwise, I would show it for you. All right, and we will wrap up with David's question. What is your favorite model? I get this question so often, and honestly, this is so hard to answer. The only thing I can possibly compare this question to is when parents get asked who is their favorite child. And my assumption is I'm not a father, but this is a very similar question. So I can't choose, but if I had to choose one, I would probably say that the TWH Cat 7495 electric rope shovel is my favorite model. But there are several that are in that same conversation, in that same pool, that if you put these in a hat and shook them up and you pulled it out, it really wouldn't matter. But that probably, if there was a gun to my head and I had to choose one model, I would say that's probably my favorite model. The only reason I don't have a review of that thing on this channel, despite it being my favorite model, is I have not yet figured out the logistics of getting this thing in a shot to show everything. It's so big. I don't have proper, camera equipment. I use a cell phone. So I got to figure out a way to film that and show it to you guys. There are other videos of it on YouTube, obviously, if you really want to see it that badly. But I think if you saw a video with me and my enthusiasm for it, it might mean that much more to you. Okay, a couple more questions, and then I'll end, because a couple more popped up here while I was going on and on and on and on and on about the rope shovel. Jonathan, wish list, too many to list. Waiting on the 49X ox body dump truck to be released. 49X Ox. Is that the green one? Hoping Diecast Masters will release a set forward front axle version of the dump truck, or even a new 47X would be nice. I can tell you, if you are referring to the 49X Ox body, the green one, the olive green one, that thing is a monster. It is an awesome truck. I love it. You will not be disappointed. And that's it. That looks like that is all for the comments. So let's wrap it up with just a simple statement. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really appreciate it all. I know that this was Tuesday and it's 11 o'clock in the morning, but it's a really random time to do a live stream. But you guys have been great. We filled up this time pretty consistently. I hope you've enjoyed getting your questions answered and being featured here on this channel. And I just want to thank you guys again. So thank you so very much for watching. If there was a question that you didn't get a chance to get in before I ended this video and you wanted me to ask, just leave it down in the comments section. I promise I will get to it as soon as I have the first available opportunity. We will do one of these again soon. Can't guarantee when exactly it will be, but I promise we will do it soon. Thank you all so very much. Be safe, be well. Check out the other videos on this channel. And again, you guys are the best part of Diecast Emporium. Without you, I would have no motivation to continue doing this channel. So you guys are legends, each and every one of you. Thank you all so much. Take care.